Happy Friday, Tribe. On this week's Vibe of Our Tribe video series, I have Kenzie with me. Kenzie is our office manager and one of my co-coaches. We're going to dive into how both parents and athletes can best prepare for our upcoming elite team placements in April.
The first step in preparing for team placements on the parent end is making sure you have a parent portal account. So anywhere on our website where it says register now, you'll be able to click that, and either if you're new or returning, you'll either log in or create an account, and you'll be able to pre-register for our team placements.
All right, once you're pre-registered and leading up to team placement weekend, you're going to receive some emails from us with some forms and paperwork you can actually do ahead of time and that we need you to have done ahead of time as a parent. So the first form is just going to be a new release form. We also have our financial agreement packet. Those files can actually already be found on our website at ourtribeathletics.com/join-a-team.
The last form needing completed is going to be a signed elite parent handbook. This is basically our Bible for the entire season. You can find a ton of important info in here. Please make sure when you are signing this, you're reading thoroughly through, checking important dates, our attendance policies, just everything that's encompassed in there. And feel free to reach out if you have any questions regarding anything in that parent handbook.
For both our parents and our athletes, one of the most important things leading up to team placements is just really understanding the difference of the levels in all-star cheerleading, as well as where the athlete truly falls. And when we say truly falls within a level, it encompasses so much, and it's not just tumbling. Tumbling's a big part of it, but also their stunt ability, their performability, their learnability, attitude, effort, and all of those things that go into making a team and a season great. So we're going to dive into some of the exacts of the different levels, just so you kind of have an idea of what those different skills are. And as we go through, kind of take a mental note of maybe where you as an athlete or as a parent, where your athlete may fall within.
First, we're going to start with our level 1. And in level 1, you're really starting to work on that technique that is going to carry you all the way up through level 6. So some of those tumbling skills that we're looking for in level 1 are going to be front and back walkovers, forward and backwards rolls, great cartwheels and roundoffs. And then on the stunt side, your athlete is going to start with preps and just working on gaining that great flexibility that's going to take them into those higher levels.
All right, for level 2, the first priority is just to have those level 1 skills that Kenzie talked about perfect. Next, we go into standing tumbling with standing back handsprings and back walkover back handsprings. On the running tumbling side, we have round-off back handsprings, round-off multiple back handsprings and front handsprings, as well as specialty passes. When we go into level 2 stunting, there's a higher difficulty level as far as 2-foot extended stunts and a bigger level of flexibility from the flyers. As a team, we need athletes with a bigger ability to learn and perform as the divisions get larger and a lot harder to be competitive in.
In level 3, we're really starting to look and make sure that all of our level 2 skills are perfect before moving on. And then we're looking at standing multiple back handsprings that have great speed and tech, as well as round-off back handspring back tucks, punch fronts, aerials, along with specialty passes. And then moving into our stunts, we're getting into those harder stunts with extended one-footed skills, more flexibility from our flyers, and a lot of strength and technique from our bases as well. And then on the team side, we're looking at that increased willingness to work hard, to be conditioned for harder levels and skills, and just that increased ability to perform, make changes, and learn quickly as a team together.
All right, in level 4, building on those level 3 skills, we have standing tucks, standing back handstrings to tuck, jump back handstring to tuck, and standing multiple back handstrings to tucks. On the running side, we have layouts, punch front step outs to layouts or tucks, and whips through to layouts or tucks. From a stunt standpoint, we build harder stunts with more twisting, a greater need for flexibility from our flyers on both their front and back flexibility skills, and a really explosive strength and power in the legs and shoulders of our bases and our back bases. For the team, it takes an immense trust and ability to push for these high-level skills together, not just for safety, but also just trusting each other and themselves to push when the going gets tough. At these higher levels, it will and does, And that's going to be both mentally and physically. So just having athletes that know that they can withstand that pressure.
Moving into our level 5, you can already guess that we're looking for all those level 4 skills to be as close as perfect as possible before moving on to standing 2 to layout, 1 to layout, whip through to tuck or layout. Then we move into running tumbling. You have your running full, your punch through to full, adding in whip passes or other specialty passes to full, and then your jump tuck. And then moving on to our stunt side, we're really looking at the requirement of body positions as per the score sheet. You need both side heel stretches as well as scales, scorps, and just really progressive basing technique with experience at all the previous levels. And then really as that team, we're looking for higher commitment to the physical impacts of training at this level, including practice commitment, attendance, and just spending that extra time in the gym.
And our last level, level 6. This is the highest level in all-star cheerleading outside of collegiate level. For level 6, it really is building on those level 5 skills on both stunts and tumbling. For tumbling, you need a 2 to full standing, a standing 1 to full. We love specialties to doubles or fulls. There's a high emphasis on strength as a base, as well as the ability to create great habits and make corrections when we're dealing with these high-level stunts. A high level of conditioning, strength, and flexibility from all of the athletes, and really just a commitment of both the athlete and parent to compete at the highest level in regards to their personal health, commitment, and the time that it'll take in the gym.
We really want our parents and athletes to understand the difference between levels and divisions. So we hit on levels earlier, and those are just basically the rules for the difficulty of skills that can be performed on each team. And then the division is going to be the age split that is based off your athlete's birth year, and those fall under tiny, mini, youth, junior, and senior.
And really that age split makes no difference on what skills they're able to perform. So it's always advantageous for your athlete to be on a team with other athletes that are his or her age. They're still going to be able to perform those same skills and have a much better experience through their years as a cheerleader. Just a few more things that'll help our parents as we lead into team placement season. The first one, we build all of our teams at Tribe with a we over me mentality, thinking team first. And as much as we look at skill and potential for different levels and teams and the score sheet, it's really important for us that we can make and create teams that are going to have successful seasons and make the best memories that they can together. So sometimes we might need one more back spot, or we might need one more flyer for a team. We might need a tumbler on a team down a level. And so sometimes athletes are placed so we can make and design the best teams possible. Second thing is important to note is it's okay to be on the same level more than once. There's a certain beautiful element to skill mastery and really mastering the level that you're at. And sometimes being on, maybe it's your first year on a level 3 team and it's very difficult, and then the next year you're really able to excel on that level 3 team. So sometimes it's actually in the best interest of the athlete and or the team to stay at that same level for a couple years, sometimes even more than a couple years. Also, it's important to note that just because you may have been on one level or one age division in a past season or maybe at a different gym, that you may not fit in that role this coming season at Tribe. Sometimes it's because we might not have that division or that level anymore, and sometimes it's because maybe we brought you up or put you on a different level to fulfill a certain role. Maybe we needed that back base on a level where you didn't have the tumbling, and so we put you there to fill that role. So I think it's important to note that each season starts afresh, and while we're always watching the athletes and seeing how they're growing and interacting with one another, it's important just to know that we're going to put your athlete in the best place for them as well as their team to be successful.
On the athlete end, there's many different things that we're looking at when placing you on a team. This can range from attitude, your effort, your work ethic, attendance, ability to be a good teammate, as well as all the skills that make a good athlete. On the tumbling side, we're of course looking at placing our athletes with high-level skills in that respective level, and really we have to meet a certain percentage of athletes on each team that meets those skill sets that they need to have.
Right, and within those levels and within those tumbling skills, we're looking for a few different things. First and foremost, consistency. Did you get the skill last week, or have you been perfecting the skill for a couple months? And neither one is necessarily right or wrong, just depending on what the lead up for that skill has been. Number two, what's the technique look like? Is it a brand new back handspring with perfectly straight legs, or is it a brand new back handspring in super bent legs? I might have just said the same thing twice. I don't even know. Also, we're looking at speed and conditioning, and there's a big difference in having a skill and having a skill in a routine. And it's important for the athlete to kind of understand, hey, I'm going to be able to compete this skill, compete it safely. It's going to be fun to compete and not be scary for me to compete. And the last thing is, as an athlete, have you been working to progress your skills the entire season? Especially if you're a returner to Tribe, are you constantly working to improve yourself on the tumbling side of things? Doesn't mean you're always getting a new skill, but are you always coming to tumbling class and always showing up and trying to be the best version of yourself?
Moving on to the stunt side, these are some of the specific things that we look for when placing flyers on a team. The first is going to be flexibility. Is your flexibility getting better throughout this season, or is it staying the same as it has been since we first saw you? Facials. We need our flyers to perform up in the air. We want you to be the star of the show and just grasp the attention of the crowd and the judges. Then we're also going to be looking at sharpness of arms and legs. How quick can you pull a body position? How sharp can you be up in the air? And then the last thing we're looking at is your learnability. So can you keep up with maybe some of the older athletes on the team? How quick can you learn your counts and your motions up in the air?
For our bases, one of the most important things is just great strength and technique. And as we're looking at placing athletes, especially as we go up into the higher levels, what's your learnability and ability to make great habits as the coaches are working with you to maybe change your steps or change your grips? Also, it's really important for our bases to be sharp because, believe it or not, a lot of stunting is relying on those counts and being specific on when you dip and when you drive up. So that comes a lot in play from our bases. On the back spot side, we're looking for back spots who are strong like the bases and have that technique, but also that are very communicative and can relay to their group things in real time, because sometimes when things are happening in a routine or on the floor, those backs can really take charge and help verbally correct for any errors that might be happening within the stunt or within the stunt group. So we're looking for strength and technique, but also that communication on the back base side.
As we move towards our team placements in April, it's super important for all of our athletes to have goals in mind. And first and foremost, realistic goals, and then a plan to reach those goals. And anytime you have a goal, whether it be to perfect a skill that you already have or working towards a new skill, extra time in the gym is really going to help you. And a few ways you can do that are private lessons, extra classes, our open gyms. And Dan is going to hit a little bit more on those extra classes your athlete can get in to work on that goal.
So classes are a great way to get in the gym extra in a structured environment and continue to kind of hone in on that next goal that you may have as an athlete. It's always, important that we learn it right rather than just learn it or learn it fast. So our first class, that all of our team athletes are in already is just a tumbling class. You're always welcome to sign up for an additional tumbling class. From January to April, the way we run our tumbling classes is to do a really fast warm-up compared to other points in our season, a really quick warm-up, and give a lot of time for the athletes to work through drills and different stations within the gym to perfect whatever skill they're working towards, or to build speed and conditioning on maybe a newer skill or a skill they're working to perfect. We also have our flex and strength class. That's great for flyers and bases alike. It's going to help with flexibility overall, strength for our bases, and just being comfortable with the physicality of your body and the demands that All-Star Cheerleading has. Lastly, jumps. Jumps are a huge part of our score sheet. We do look at jumps briefly during the team placement weekend, and I think it's a part that sometimes we forget about as athletes. It's really important to know that sometimes if we're between maybe athlete A or athlete B for a team, sometimes it does boil down to what do their jumps look like and how is that going to impact our score on the team that we're looking to add them on. So classes are a great add-in for you. Get a little extra time in the gym and, be around your friends and help improve your skills.
Another great way for your athlete to continue working towards that goal for team placements is private lessons. And right now, all of our coaches' private lesson schedules are super full, so do not delay in booking. It's really best to do consistent lessons leading up to team placements rather than try to book a bunch, a week or two before. Just having that consistent work throughout, the weeks leading up is going to benefit your athlete so much. Really that one-on-one environment with a coach where they can, help your athlete come up with a plan to reach that goal is going to benefit your athlete the most.
As we work towards these goals for the 2022-2023 season, the most important thing we want everybody to remember, it's never the right time to rush a skill. Great things take time, so whether that be tumbling or your jumps or maybe as a flyer, your flexibility, putting in consistent work through the year and through the years is really what's going to add up and make the best experience for you as an all-star cheerleader, or if you're going to continue on your career after all-star cheer, as well as keeping you safe and in the sport you love. So that's it for this week's Vibe of Our Tribe. I know our whole staff is pumped to help you prepare for this upcoming season as we're in the middle of this season. So have a great day. We'll see you soon. This is what I do while I'm waiting for Kenzie to rehearse her lines. While Kenzie's working on her section, I'm seeing how many times I can spin. Carly has a double, I have a 10-truple right now. I'm doing a 10-truple full. I'm gonna be so dizzy I'm gonna throw up on this next week's Vibe of Our Tribe video series.